That is a hard decision to make. You know, one thing you don't want to do is drag this thing out any more than you have to, but I'll leave that up to the Israeli government. I think President Trump is going to back Israel's decision no matter what they do. I certainly will too. If they want to do 2 phases, I will back them. If they want to insist on getting all the hostages out, I will back that decision. But my point to you and our friends in Israel, whatever decision you make, we need to have the vast majority of 26 to be about the day after.
What about on the prisoner system, the PA's prisoner payment reform that was launched in February? What's your assessment?
Yeah, but I don't know enough to tell you yet.
Senator Graham, you mentioned this meeting between yourself, Netanyahu, and the head of...
Yeah, Cindy McCain, WFP.
Yeah. What was exactly...
Well, I think they're going to talk about it. I'll let them speak for themselves, but I can tell you my impression of the meeting. 2 thumbs up. Cindy made the point that we're here to help feed people. We want to do it in a fashion that Israel feels comfortable with. We have certain guidelines we have to follow. I was impressed with the fact they provide aid packages to people who have IDs and names. And they actually ask the people, did you make it home? Did anybody take the aid away from you? I thought that was a good process to make sure that Hamas doesn't wind up with this food. Huh? No, they do that everywhere. I just didn't know it. So I think that dialogue about how the WFP works was really helpful. I think Israel wants to be able to work with the WFP. I think out of that meeting between Kogak and the people on the ground with the World Food Program here, that they've got a system that I think is going to increase food delivery. I was told before the war there was around 100 trucks a day going in to Gaza. There was indigenous food production. That has been pretty much dramatically reduced because of the war, and that 300 trucks a day, according to Israel and I think other people, meets the needs of Gaza and probably then some. You see in August a dramatic increase. I think after that meeting between the WFP and Israel, I think that will be sustainable. I went to GHF, is that the group? I saw what they do. They do about 60, 80 trucks a day. So I'm going to tell my colleagues what I saw, but I would also like your Kogak commander to come back and tell us what actually is happening and take questions, because there's a lot of misinformation. But I talked to Cindy a while ago, and she was very willing to talk to the Israelis. Bibi wanted to talk to her, and I think it was a very good meeting, and I think it will improve the situation. Anything else? Yes. I think it's critical that we support that process. That failure to disarm Hezbollah not only dooms the future of Lebanon, it creates an environment to make it harder to reconcile the region. So Hamas, I see how that ends. I went to the south. I know how that ends. It's going to end with the destruction of Hamas militarily or them surrendering and leaving. Hezbollah, a statement was made that they should be disarmed. I've yet to see the plan how to do it. I would prefer a political process where the Shia community could convince Hezbollah to lay down the weapons and integrate politically into Lebanon. I'd like to give that, Tom Barrack has an idea, I'd like to give that a chance. I'm convinced without plan B, there'll never be a plan A. That the only way you're ever going to convince Hezbollah and others that have been stakeholders in terrorism is to have a credible threat of military force. And if you don't have that credible threat, I don't think you're ever going to get a political solution. So I'll go back to President Trump and say, you aided Israel to eliminate a common threat or reduce the capability of a nuclear-armed Iran, which is a threat to us. You've helped Israel militarily deal with the war in Gaza. You've given them the time and the space to do it. Now we need to turn our attention to the other proxy, Hezbollah. The Houthis, good day for the home team against the Houthis, but Hezbollah is now my focus. They've been very lethal. They have a lot of capability still left, even though Israel has, hurt them a lot. So I'm going to go back and tell President Trump, let's talk to Israel and Lebanon about Plan B to make sure that if it happens, they're successful. The worst possible outcome is for the Lebanese army, as part of Plan B, to take Hezbollah on and fail. That can't happen.
There's more discussion now in the Israeli light about annexing parts of the West Bank. What's your position on annexing parts of the West Bank?
Call Saudi Arabia, call Egypt, call Jordan, call the United Arab Emirates, and see what kind of answer you get. Well, this is why I came. Plan B is developing in front of your eyes here. They're going to produce a plan, Lebanon will, about disarmament. They made a statement. They're going to follow up with a plan. Well, that plan will be shared with us and Israel. And what I want to do is pursue the diplomatic solution aggressively. I don't want to have a wider war in Lebanon, but I am convinced Lebanon will be part of the solution, but they don't have the capability without assistance to execute Plan B. And I want Iran to know, and I want Hezbollah to know that you're not going to be around next year. Thank you all very much.